This second problem, we're still finding all possible solutions. However, whenever we look at our first step, we can see that our trig function is definitely not isolated. We have the trig function on both sides of the equation, so the first thing we need to do is get them together. So I'm going to add cosine x to both sides and combine like terms. So I'm going to end up with 6 cosine x plus 6 equals 0. It might be tempting to cancel these out and then just not put anything over here, but then you no longer have an equation to solve. So we have to put equals 0. Now I subtract 6 over. I still haven't isolated it because I have a 6 multiplied to it, so I'm going to divide by 6. And I end up with cosine x equals -1. Now that we've finished step 1, we have to think about what angle can we put in here so that cosine of that angle equals -1. We can think about our special triangles. Is there any ratio that can give us 1? Well, not for cosine. You can sketch them out if you want and try to prove me wrong, but you won't. There's no ratio adjacent over hypotenuse that'll give us 1. That would be like one of our sides being equal to the hypotenuse, which can't happen in a triangle. So that means we have a quadrantal angle. There's two ways you can do your quadrantal angle. You can do it using the XYR method, which says that cosine of theta equals x over r. And then you would plot your points. Just choose a point on the x and y axes. It's always easiest to choose the ones with 1 in them. And then you just test them out. Now, don't forget that r always equals 1 if your point is 1, because r is just the distance from the origin. So if you test that out, then you'll figure out that to get -1, you're going to use this angle, the angle that falls on the negative x-axis, which is going to be 180 degrees, or pi. So we can find the answer that way, and I'm just going to put it up here on the line. X equals pi plus 2 pi n, since we're doing all possible solutions. Another way that you can do it is using the cosine curve. So with the cosine curve, you have to have memorized that we start at 0, 1. We start up here, dip down to -1, and come back up. So when we come back up, the period ends, and that's 2 pi. So directly in the middle is going to be pi, and that's where we dip down to -1. So pi would be our answer there. So either way, you'll get the same answer.